Hi, this is Vic, and I'm going to be talking about my 2014 Cadillac ELR, as usual. What you're looking at right now is what I call my stock photograph of my ELR sitting outside of my garage and being charged. Typically, my car is kept inside the garage and I charge it. But I left it outside specifically to take this photograph for this purpose. And since I've taken, or since I've since the last time I've done an upload, I've had a conversation with another ELR owner who recently purchased a previously owned 2014 ELR, and I've had a thought that with the discontinuance of the ELR, uh, possibly people will be looking at purchasing a previously owned ELR. Now, how is the value of a previously owned ELR calculated? In my opinion, it should be calculated much differently than its gasoline counterpart. A gasoline counterpart that started off at the same price point when it was brand new. You should still look at everything at the standard stuff like appearance, paint condition, lack of dents, lack of dings. Is it outstanding? Is it excellent? Is it average? Is it below average? Is it poor? Or whatever? And that's all fine and dandy because those things are common regardless of the power plant. Now, as far as the specifics to the ELR, let's go ahead and look at my last driving session as of December 1st, 2016. During this particular driving session, you'll see I averaged 167 miles per gallon. Now, how did that happen? That happened because I drove a total of 46.1 miles and I burned approximately a little over a quart of gas to go 46 miles, 46.1 miles. And you see the circle, most of it is green, and that's a visual indication of the car being propelled mostly by electricity. So only electricity flowing through the motor is what most of my driving was done by. And the blue portion of the circle represents the 10.8 miles you see next to the icon that looks like a gas pump. Next to that, there's 10.8 miles. So 10.8 miles was driven using the built-in generator or the gasoline engine. The gasoline engine is in fact a built-in generator. It generates electricity to provide electricity for the motors that drive the front wheels. Now, and as a result of that, my MPG for that specific session was 167 miles per gallon. I drove 46.1 miles, used a little over a quart of gas to drive 46.1 miles. And my lifetime is 92.4 miles per gallon. Now, why is my lifetime so much lower than 100? Because periodically I will drive my vehicle out of town, out of state. But at the same time, I will try to plug it in as much as I can, even if I'm not at home. When I'm not at home, I cannot plug it in every night like I do when I'm home. But I still try to sip a little electricity every once in a while because 10 minutes worth of charge will help a little bit here and there. 10 minutes. If you do 10 minutes 5 times, that before you know it, that's 50 minutes, and that's going to help charge the power supply to help reduce the gasoline consumption. Now, the reason I'm talking about lifetime MPG is because I think that should be used to evaluate the value of a previously owned extended range electric vehicle like the Cadillac ELR. Okay, the Cadillac ELR in 2016 was discontinued. I think was selling brand new at somewhere around $55,000. Now, the gasoline powered equivalent for 55,000. That car and the ELR, there's common things that should be looked at, like the condition of the paint, the interior, the exterior, the leather, all those things. All those things are common between the two cars. Now, as far as the MPG goes, on the ELR, the lifetime MPG, if it's below 60, I think the ELR should take a ding on that specific ELR should take a ding on its value. If somebody's looking at trading in an ELR or selling an ELR, if the lifetime, the key word is lifetime, if the lifetime MPG is below 60, is 60 or below, then in my opinion, that's an indication that the owner of that car, the previous owner of that car, did not use the car the way it was intended by the designers or the engineers. It's an extended range electric vehicle. It was not intended for the car to be driven mostly while the generator was running. That's why it's called an extended range electric vehicle. And if you're out looking to purchase a previously owned Cadillac ELR, I strongly urge you to look at the lifetime MPG of the vehicle. If it's 60 or below, in my opinion, that car was probably not driven the way it was supposed to be driven, or the way it was designed to be driven. And that's an indication of basically kind of sort of abusing the internals of the car in a way, because the generator was not supposed to be running all the time while the car was being driven. That's not the way the extended range electric vehicle is supposed to work. So look at that in great detail if you're looking at purchasing a previously owned Chevrolet Volt or Cadillac ELR.